The Aguerso, the chancellor, was unceremoniously dismissed by the regent for his opposition to the fast increase of paper money and the constant depreciation of the gold and silver coin of the realm. This only served to augment the enmity of the parliament, and when the Argenson, a man devoted to the interests of the regent, was appointed to the vacant chancellorship and made at the same time Minister of Finance, they became more violent than ever. The first measure of the new minister caused the further depreciation of the coin. In order to extinguish the billets d'état, it was ordered that persons bringing to the mint 4,000 livres in specie and 1,000 livres in billets d'état should receive back coin to the amount of 5,000 livres. The Argenson plumed himself mightily upon thus creating 5,000 new and smaller livres out of the 4,000 old and larger ones, being too ignorant of the true principles of trade and credit to be aware of the immense injury he was inflicting upon both. The Parliament saw at once the impolicy and danger of such a system and made repeated remonstrance to the regent. The latter refused to entertain their petitions when the Parliament, by a bold and very unusual strategy of authority, commanded that no money should be received in payment but that of the old standard. The regent summoned the lead justice and annulled the decree. The Parliament resisted and issued another. Again, the regent exercised his privilege and annulled it, till the Parliament, stung to fiercer opposition, passed another decree dated August 12, 1718, by which they forbade the Bank of Law to have any concern, either direct or indirect, in the administration of the revenue, and prohibit all foreigners under heavy penalties from interfering either in their own names or in that of others in the management of the finances of the state. The Parliament considered Law to be the author of all the evil, and some of the councillors, in the virulence of their enmity, proposed that he should be brought to trial, and, if found guilty, be hung at the gates of the Palace de Justice. Law, in great alarm, fled to the Paris Royal and threw himself on the protection of the regent, praying that measures might be taken to reduce the Parliament to obedience. The regent had nothing so much at heart, both on that account and because of the disputes that had arisen relative to the legitimation of the Duke of Maine and the Count of Cholons, the sons of the late king. The Parliament was ultimately overruled by the arrest of their president and two of the councillors, who were sent to distant prisons. Thus, the first cloud upon Law's prospects blew over. Freed from apprehension of personal danger, he devoted his attention to his famous Mississippi project, the shares of which were rapidly rising, in spite of the Parliament. At the commencement of the year 1719, an edict was published granting to the Mississippi Company the exclusive privilege of trading to the East Indies, China, and the South Seas, and to all the possessions of the French East India Company established by Colbert. The company, in consequence of this great increase of their business, assumed as more appropriate the title of Company of the Indies, and created 50,000 new shares. The prospects now held out by Law were more magnificent. He promised a yearly dividend of 200 livres upon each share of 500, which, as the shares were paid for in billets d'état at their nominal value, but worth only 100 livres, was at the rate of about 120% profit.